Hey guys, this is Travis from the Third Gear Speed Shop with an update on the 2017 box stock group build and the barn find Willys Gasser. So last time I made a video, I had done the wheels and tires, and this time I've gone on to do some experimentation with weathering in the body, and let's just start with the chassis. Just take everything apart here. I got the chassis, the components in on the chassis, the springs, the traction bars, and the rear end. I just need to do a little bit of more detail painting and washes and pastels and stuff like that, but it's getting there. I did some dry brushing. I don't know if you can tell if that's going to focus or not, but I did some dry brushing on the chassis. Probably need to tone it down a little bit. It's a little too metallic, but I'll do that. I got the firewall weathered up, and so the metallizer has been dirtied and toned down a little bit. What else? I got the interior tub here. I got some pastels on the interior tub to weather that, just using brown pastels and just a little detail paint on the window cranks. Nothing fancy there. I still need to do the dash and the gear shift, but that's coming along. And I got the engine weathered up. I did the metallizer on the blower, and I weathered that just like I did the wheels, and I rusted, or tried to rust up, the valve covers a little bit, as well as the headers, and did some dry brushing on the block, and then went in with some oily black washes. So probably need to come back to the underside and give it a little bit more powdery washes or something, but overall I think it turned out okay. And onto the body. I did some experimentation with weathering decals, and it didn't really turn out the way I wanted it to. I think in retrospect I would have done it different, and I actually watched a tutorial today on how to do it correctly. So you know, the nose was shot, I just used rubber cement to mask off the areas with the exposed gray primer under it, and then I shot it with a metallic gold, and then I sanded, or tried to lightly sand the decals to weather those, but in the process I knocked down some of the areas. I went straight down to the plastics, which didn't really want to do that. So anyway, I'm gonna need to do some fixing on that, but I like the weather gold. I think that's a cool look. I also, on the top here, on the faded parts, I just sort of dabbed on some thinner and let that just kind of break down the gold paint down to the primer, and it worked pretty good. And then I just came back with a dusting of white dust, or pastels, like it's going to be sitting. It's going to be sitting kind of in a layer of dust. So it's coming along. I might need to tweak it here and there, but that gives you a good idea of kind of that faded gold that I was going for. And on the body, I did some experimentation with different techniques: salt, the rubber cement, and hairspray. And the hairspray technique just didn't work. It was I'm using rattle cans, so I'm assuming that the rattle can paint is just too thick for the hairspray method to work. The table salt down here on the bottom seemed to work really good, and of course the rubber cement, this chunk right here where my thumb is, was just masked with rubber cement. So I'd done that before. I knew that that was going to work out. I had not done the salt technique before, and it worked pretty good. I liked it. This area right here, I'm not that happy with. That's where I did some experimentation with letting the thinner break down the paint, and it just didn't work like I wanted it to. So I'll probably hit this door again and mask off the areas I like, and hit the door with another coat of something, either the same red color or maybe a different color, I don't know. And then the trunk, I did something here around the edges. I did the rubber cement, and then I did something that I hadn't seen before or seen a tutorial on. It was just an experiment that I thought I would try, and it actually worked. I used a sponge, and I just sponged on Elmer's white glue, the washable school glue. And I guess the washable part is important because it came off really easily. I just sponged it, heavier in these areas and then lighter around the edges, and let it dry, and then spray painted that top coat of gray. And after everything had dried, I came back with a toothbrush, and it washed away beautifully. So I'm really excited about that. It's it's something I've never seen anyone do a tutorial on or anything. If you guys would be interested in seeing that, maybe I could do a how-to. It's really easy, but it worked for what I'm doing it for. I think in the future I might go a little less heavy, but you could go as heavy or as light as you want, and it's a little bit more, I feel like it's a little bit easier to control. The salt is a little bit more random, and you can't really control where the salt goes. I mean, you can to a point, but with the sponging you can really layer it and get it as heavy or as light as you want, and dab it in places that you really want it heavier or lighter or whatever. So I'm going to try that on the rest of the body. The rest of the body is going to be painted a blue color. So I know what works now, and I think that I'll be able to finish this out with more predictable results. I was using the trunk and this door to sort of figure out some things and experiment, but now I think I know what works for the paints I'm using, and I can proceed with not a lot of surprises. So that's the plan. Thanks for thanks for watching. I'm gonna be posting more videos for this build, and we've got a couple more weeks to go on the box stock community build. So I hope you guys are having fun building your box stock builds, and I've been watching all of them, and it's really fun being a part of the community, and just trying some new things. So it's great learning and getting that experience under my belt. So thanks for watching, guys, and stay tuned to the Third Gear Speed Shop.